Ladies and gentlemen, please gather your edges.
It's the lemon squeeze. I'm here for you, you're here for me.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl E, and we are back at it again with another lemon squeeze episode. I'm so excited because, baby, your girl's coming to y'all a little bit differently, okay? I graduated school, so I'm going to have a bit more time on my hands to spend with you guys, to fellowship with you guys, to love on you guys, and I'm super excited about that. But before we jump into this, please take the time to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're a big family here, and we would love to have you. So let's go ahead and get into it, girl. Let's do it. Let's get into it. So this episode is going to be about voids and friendship, okay? I'm going to be taking out of the book of Ruth because I love the book of Ruth, and I just think it has so many gems. So a little bit of background information on Ruth. Her mother-in-law, Naomi, she lost her husband. Her husband passed away, and both of her sons passed away, which included Ruth's husband as well. So Naomi, she got to the point where she was like, all right, girls, y'all could go ahead and dip if y'all want to. Like, I have nothing here for y'all no more, so y'all could really just go ahead and go. You know what I'm saying? So that's actually brings me to my first point. And my first point is the expectation of friendship can cause us to shut down. And what I mean by that is Naomi felt like she needed to continue alone because she didn't have anything else to offer. And it really reminded me of a certain type of friend. It reminded me of that friend that just kind of just goes ghost type of thing. Like, nobody really knows what's going on, but you just know that it's kind of like she or he, I guess you could say, is isolating themselves. So there are some friends who attach their ability to love with what they have to offer. So when they catch themselves in those moments or in those seasons where life has drained them so much, they feel like they need to handle it alone. They know that they are in the position, I guess you could say, where they may not be able to give certain things. They may not be able to give quality time or to be up in that group message, you know, dropping this tweet, dropping that tweet, laughing and doing all this type of stuff, or even going places. So to avoid that disappointment that may come with certain expectations of friendship, they separate themselves. They encourage their friends to go or continue without them, kind of like what Naomi did. She was like, look, y'all go ahead, y'all live y'all's life. I'll be all right. It is what it is. And I was the type of friend where I always wanted to be present in my friend's life. I always wanted to know what was going on. I always wanted to be like that friend who was there, who was helping. And because of that, for a while, I began to take it personally when a friend would separate themselves. And because the enemy knew it couldn't take away the promise of my friendships, it knew it could manipulate my perspective. So, y'all, I began to think like, dang, like, what I do to her? Like, is she good? Like, are you, like, what's up? Like, why are you not talking to me? And I would begin to play scenarios in my head and begin to come to the conclusion that, well, maybe I didn't know her like I thought I did. Or maybe our friendship just wasn't as solid or as tight as I thought it was. The enemy knew that if I placed myself at the center, that the friendship would fail. Period, y'all. I'm going to say that again. The enemy knew if I placed myself at the center, that the friendship would fail. But it wasn't until that I really read the book of Ruth and really analyzed what was happening that I found that I could even go to God about my friendships. There are times where God had to remove me to isolate my friend's heart. God had to show me that a girl's night, a lemon squeeze, a spa date, all those different type of things couldn't fill that void or whatever my friend was going through. But it was God who could fill it, and God alone. Ruth had to take her feelings out of the center, literally. And I know that's a cuss word to some of us. She had to take her feelings out of it and let Naomi know, like, look, sis, I'm not leaving you. Your people is going to be my people. Where you stay, girl, that's where I'ma stay. And your God is going to be my God. Ruth had to put her expectation in God and not in Naomi. When we put that expectation solely on our friends, they will fail us and we will fail each other. Every time, y'all. Every time. Because our expectations are often dependent on our feelings towards that person. Oh, there has been times, y'all, where I've been so upset or so angry with my friends, and then I place an expectation on an apology. So it's like one of them things where if she can't come to me with an apology, then we really just have nothing to talk about. Like, if she can't apologize to me about what she did, then we don't need to be talking. And it made it hard for restoration to take place because I essentially already had my mind made up about what I wanted her to do for me. I wanted the apology to come before the grace. Oh, y'all, I'm going to say that again. I wanted the apology. I wanted her to apologize to me before I extended grace to her. So it was like, okay, well, if you apologize, then maybe I can forgive. Or, if you show some remorse, then maybe I could extend grace. Ruth knew that their friendship or their relationship couldn't always be dependent on how she felt at the time. And because of that, Naomi was also at a point where she was feeling some things. Naomi was at a point in her life where she felt as though God made her life bitter. And bitterness can be behavior too. It doesn't always have to just be emotion or how that person feels. I'm sure there were times where Naomi didn't even want to hear about God. It was probably hard for her to deem joy or happiness as attainable. And it probably reflected in how she acted and what she was entertained by. I'll use myself as an example on what I mean by this. Sometimes I was so upset with God that I would surround myself with things that I knew didn't look like him. It was one of the things where it's like, God, if you're really a God of love, if you're really a God of peace, if you're really a God of joy, why don't I feel it? Why can't I see it? Like, why would you even allow for that to happen to me? And I began to surround myself with things that just didn't look like God because I didn't feel loved where God was. So I was trying to feel loved in different areas. So I began to look to other people for that type of love. So yeah, this man or woman may not treat me all that good, or they may talk to me crazy, but at least they're physically here when I need them. At least they make me feel good some of the time. It wasn't necessarily even about the person or the thing for me, but it was genuinely because it filled a void in my life. The absence that I felt from God, even though this person treated me crazy, the fact that he or she was even present filled that void. The inconsistency that I felt, even though this job that I was working ran me to the ground, at least I was getting paid faithfully. It filled that void for me. Yes, I don't open up to people. Yes, I'm closed off. Yes, I'm not speaking to God right now, but at least I feel safe in my own mind, in my own body. All of those voids in my life began to obstruct my view of trust. I didn't think that God had purpose in my pain. So while Naomi was feeling all of those feelings, later it shows that Ruth was out working. She was working in the field, y'all. I'm talking in the sun, child. And she was actually gleaning. She was picking up the scraps or leftover grain from the harvest. Ruth herself wasn't even walking in her full potential, but because she loved Naomi, she kept going. She kept working. She kept trusting. I just really want to encourage all of my young women and men too to keep going because your friendships are worth it. Sometimes we won't always know the extent of our friends' pain or why they do some of the things they do. And it's like the only thing that we generally know is they tripping. Like, dang, like you're really wilding right now. But there'll be times that you even want to block them or you want to delete them from your life. Now, I'm not saying to overextend yourself or to subject yourself to harmful friendships, but to simply trust. that even in those rough spots, even in those arguments, even when you feel like you just don't want to be this person's friend anymore, when you keep God at the center, it's going to work out for both of y'all's goods, regardless. Sometimes we learn the most and we get to experience the most grace through those hiccups and through those rough spots. Like y'all, when I tell y'all, I found the most mercy and grace during a time in my friendship where I thought it was impossible to mend. Literally. So that brings me to my last point, is that because Ruth worked and because she loved Naomi, Naomi got to benefit from Ruth's blessings. Her blessings were so big it overflowed into Naomi's life. The same Naomi who felt like God counted her out. The same Naomi who felt like God made her life bitter for her. God ended up taking care of both of them. And I believe, young woman, young man, that God will do the same for you in your friendships, in your family, in your life. God sees you working, He sees you loving, He sees you trusting, and because of that, it could very well change the heart and perspective on those around you. So y'all, I love y'all so much. This was a dope episode. This was amazing. I loved it. And I really hope to see you guys next week, because your girl is going to be busting out these episodes. We finna be doing life together, period. So, you guys, again, like, comment, share, subscribe. I would love for y'all to comment. I would love to hear y'all's experiences, especially through friendship. Whew. This was amazing. Also, we have an Instagram page now. Check the link in the bio. And until next time.
It's the lemon squeeze.